A wild day in Metro Grand Rapids, and it just keeps getting weirder. It started this morning when the Comerica Bank branch at 4 Mile and Alpine was robbed.
Police then chased a rental truck all around town with stolen cash being thrown out of the windows before it finally ended up behind a school on the city's southwest side. Police arrested 2 people. We now know they are husband and wife. They're booked in the jail under the names Tammy Jones and Matthew Jones. But tonight, 3 people with family ties to these suspects say Matthew is not the man's real name. It's just another twist in a wild story we brought you live coverage of this morning while it was happening. Here's a recap.
Is this it right here? This is it. Stop, stop, stop. Stop, stop, stop.
We could hear the cop cars coming. We turned around and see the budget truck go flying by. He might hit us. He might hit us. We could hear his tires flat. Then cop cars and more cop cars.
It looked like they were filming a movie.
2 suspects under arrest after a brazen bank heist.
Kids were in recess just before this chase ended here.
I thought I was like gonna die.
We've got several crime scenes. We've got multiple major case detectives involved. We got the FBI involved, and we're still trying to sort it out.
Some of the sights and sounds from today. Now to 24 Hour News 8's Tony Tagliavia with a look inside the mind of a bank robber. And he's also been trying to get answers about this suspect's identity. Tony?
Good evening, Brian and Sue. 3 separate people told us that the male suspect in this case is not using his real name. That includes the man's half-brother who says his name's the one being stolen, and a woman who says she was raised by the suspect for 8 years.
His real name is Adam Quincy Jones.
The woman told us this wasn't the first time the suspect used his half-brother's name.
We had heard word that Adam had been arrested in Florida, so I looked it up online, and in Miami-Dade's website, in their records, Matthew Jones had been arrested.
Investigators tell us their suspect will remain booked as Matthew Jones, in part because fingerprints were connected to that name. But Adam Jones did show up as an alias.
Yeah, they were living in Florida.
This is the 3rd person who told us the suspect isn't using his real name. Joseph Ronner says he was married to Tammy Jo Jones, the other suspect, for 12 years. He says they have 4 children together, and now Ronner says he has the tough task of telling his grandson what the boy's grandmother is accused of.
What I'm going to tell him is that good things happen to good people and bad things happen to bad people.
After a chase, the 2 suspects were arrested less than an hour after investigators say the crime happened. Experts tell us eventually that was likely to happen.
It doesn't sound like it was planned very well, and most aren't.
A former head of the Grand Rapids FBI tells us bank robbers are caught at a higher rate than suspects in many other crimes. He says that's because there are plenty of tools in investigators' toolbox. Plus, robbers don't often get as much as they want, so they keep going back, and odds are, the more they rob, the more likely they are to be caught. As for robbers' motivation, former FBI supervisory agent in charge Robert Duhadway says it's often for drugs or money. Julie Yunker teaches the next generation of investigators at Grand Valley State University. She says bank robbery is often about power as well.
We don't see the kind of emotions that we see with other crimes, anger or frustration within relationships, but that ability to be smarter perhaps than everyone else and to make a plan that perhaps no one can solve.
As for that identity question, investigators tell us that if the suspect's half-brother wants him to stop using his name, they're going to have to look to press criminal charges. At the live desk, Tony Tagliavia, 24 Hour News 8.
Our own Ken Kolker and chief photojournalist Mike Ingram were at one point caught right in the middle of the chase, and they recorded it all. You can see that entire video right now. It's can't miss. Go to woodtv.com. Just click on the Hot Topics tab on the homepage.